Hey guys, it's Danny. Already, so somebody wanted to see more of my Hoyas. I don't really talk about them, although I have them for about 3 years now. Well, I had little cuttings of these ones. So here's a video about my Hoyas, how they are doing. Well, I have to say they're doing much better than in my balcony because, well, they get more light here, obviously, but also I'm using a much better medium. I am now just discovering how bad my older medium was. So this is my pubicalyx red buttons. It has gorgeous flowers. If you search for it on the internet, you'll see they're gray, dark gray with some red to them. Simply amazing. But of course, I broke the tip, or the tip got damaged in transport or something because it's not growing. However, this plant, and excuse me if I will say orchid, I'm very used to saying orchids in my videos. So this plant, this Hoya, is producing some side shoots right now. And you can see one there growing really nice and a few others here and there. However, this plant, I'm trying really hard not to say orchid, is producing really big leaves right now. They're starting to get some color on them. They were a bit discolored when I moved out from my balcony, partially due to the medium, partially due to the light, I suppose, but she's doing quite well right now. She does have two peduncles that I'm going to show you, and I'm really not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly. So these were here when I moved. However, they didn't do anything, and somebody actually told me they might not produce flowers this year because of the move and all of that. I hope it's not the case, but it kind of looks that way right now. So I have one here and another one there. They're not growing. However, they might pick up growth at some point. I'm hopeful. But if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. However, the mother plant is doing quite well. I'm pretty happy with the growth. It's the fastest and the bestest growth that I've experienced with them ever since I have them. In the back there, we have the neocaledonyca. This one produces really lovely yellow flowers. Again, this one is starting to pick up growth really nice. The leaves are getting bigger and bigger, and again, we broke half of the stem. And in one of my videos, I showed you that I potted it next to the mother plant, and I helped it with some root hormone, and for the first 2 or 3 weeks, it was really leathery. The leaves were really leathery, and now they're kind of starting to plump back up slowly, but I see a difference. So I think this cutting rooted, which is nice because it was pretty long, and I felt really bad that it snapped. What can you do? They're really not that flexible. This one has a peduncle here as well. Let's try to focus. But again, it's not gonna bloom. It had some buds, but during transport, they got bruised, they fell, and this peduncle is on the tip that broke. So I really am not sure it's gonna grow. I really think it's not. So possibly this year we will not see flowers for them. But in the back there we have the Calla Cina, and I'll just go closer to it to show it to you better. So here's the Calla Cina that I received about a month and a half ago from one of my viewers, and when I received it, it was this high, and I think the tip was damaged. However, from the tip it started to grow this new lead, which is growing super fast. Each day I notice more growth on it. It's lengthier, and the foliage is developing really fast and really nice. So I think this one is good, and I'll be extra careful not to break any tips from it. So this is a type of Hoya which actually takes a cool down in wintertime, not a break or a dormancy in any way, but a cooling of temperatures, and this will induce some flowers, and my viewer says that it might bloom for me this year, which would be super fantastic because this Hoya has a very good reputation of being one of the most, if not the most fragrant Hoya of them all. So I'm really excited for this one, and I really hope we get to see some blooms. Because yeah, the Hoyas were not very featured in my videos, although I do like them, but the cuttings that I had were just so small, they didn't do anything, they just grew, so there was really no point in showing anything. The progress was very slow as well, but now I think they're mature enough to see some differences. Okay, I also wanted to address a thing. When I did my repotting video on the Hoya, I was saying that Hoyas are not epiphytes. Wrong. I was wrong. They are. But I wouldn't really consider them as drought tolerant as orchids. Some Hoyas are terrestrials, some Hoyas are epiphytes, and some Hoyas are both, meaning they have a terrestrial part and an epiphyte part. You can grow Hoyas on a mount with quite a lot of sphagnum moss maybe, and maybe in a humid environment. In any case, they do need more hydration if they're not potted. However, the most comfortable way to grow them in a house is potted like this, because the most of the roots will be there, and Hoyas do produce extensive root systems, at least mine do. However, the roots do not have that velamen, so they're not very drought tolerant, and I noticed this on my Hoyas. When I missed watering, they really didn't like it. All the leaves got kind of leathery, kind of floppy, and they do need a good drink when the medium is dry. Also, another concern was overpotting. I have to tell you something, although I'm not an expert or anything on Hoyas, whenever I up-potted my Hoya plants, they started to boom with growth, and they took over the pot pretty fast. With the Calla Cina, I had the issue that the root system was so extensive that the medium got dry in one day, and it wasn't hot or anything outside, but she just drank a lot of water. So for me, the overpotting issue has more to do with the medium you use, the extent of the roots, the type of Hoya maybe that you have, although my Hoyas are all fast growing, and so on. I've never had issues with overpotting, let's say, Hoyas. Moreover, whenever I up-potted them, they grew much faster and much better for me. The only issue is watering. Yes, you do need to pay attention how you water. If you have an inappropriate medium that just stays soggy no matter what you do, or your environment is cooler and humid, yeah, you might have some issues, but it's easily solvable if you add maybe some perlite or some drainage material to your pot. And for my Hoyas, I do intend to keep them at least 2 years in these pots and in this medium before I repot them and refresh the medium. And I think in 2 years they will actually take over these pots as well when I unpotted them from the previous pots, which were, I think they were 14 centimeters wide. The pots were full of roots, so the upgrade was not really that dramatic, and I'm pretty sure these pots will get filled in about 2 years as well. In the end, it might just be like with orchids. They usually tell you not to overpot because of water staying too much in the pot. However, this needs to be adapted as well to the type of environment you have, the type of medium you're gonna use, and maybe how you water. If you know yourself to be a heavy waterer and you have the time and you like to water every day perhaps, then yeah, maybe using a tiny pot will be okay. However, as I was telling you, when I up-potted my Hoyas, every time they started to grow faster and better for me. And foliage-wise as well, they grew bigger foliage, much lusher, is that a word? Anyway, I just feel that offering a bigger pot will translate into better growth. I don't know, this is just me, just what I discovered, and so far so good. And if I get some flowers, it will be even better, but we shall see what happens in the future. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for suggesting this video. If you'd like to see more orchid and plant videos from me, simply subscribe to my channel. I post on a daily basis. Also, feel free to leave me comments, suggestions, or questions you might have in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. And if you ever want to send me a letter or a cutting of some sorts, just do so at the address you see on the screen and in the description below. Click an option on the screen if you'd like to watch another video from me, or if you want to visit my website orchidnature.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.